Chosen one. You did not arrive at these words by accident. Heaven appointed this encounter long before you recognized it. You were guided here according to divine timing, positioned exactly where revelation could meet readiness. The Spirit of the living God has been preparing your heart for this moment. And as this message reaches you, something deep within your spirit is beginning to rise. You are standing before the doorway of a supernatural transfer, an outpouring of provision connected to your purpose, your household, and the legacy heaven intends you to build. Anointed one. This is more than coincidence. It is confirmation. The God who multiplied the widow's oil in 2 Kings 4 and transformed a few loaves and fish into enough food for thousands is still the God of multiplication. And he knows exactly what has been placed in your hands. You have endured the cutting away, the long waiting, the unanswered questions, and the seasons when heaven seemed silent. But those seasons were not empty. They were preparing capacity. Now a different declaration is being spoken over your life. What has been stored, delayed, and withheld is beginning to move toward its appointed destination. This is your season of divine timing. Favor is shifting around you. Doors that once remained closed are beginning to respond differently. You were never forgotten in the hidden place. You were being prepared to emerge at the right moment. Every seed you planted when no one applauded. Every tear you cried in private. Every act of obedience that seemed unnoticed has reached a point of spiritual maturity. Heaven has not misplaced a single sacrifice. Prepare your heart. Chosen one. The same divine preservation that has carried you through seasons designed to exhaust you is now becoming connected to increase. The grace that kept you from collapsing is the same grace positioning you to steward what is coming. Chosen one. When people look at you and notice something different, what they are seeing is not merely appearance. They are witnessing evidence of battles they never saw you fight. Your radiance carries a history. Your peace carries a testimony. The strength still present in you is proof that what attempted to destroy you did not succeed. You passed through environments that could have emptied you completely. Yet instead of emerging depleted, you came out carrying a deeper light. Others may try to explain it through luck, genetics, routines, or some hidden secret. But heaven knows where your preservation came from. Your glow was formed through obedience. Every time you chose peace instead of wasting yourself trying to prove a point, something precious was protected within you. Every time you released forgiveness when retaliation would have felt easier, you refused to allow bitterness to consume your strength. Every time you stepped away into sacred solitude instead of chasing approval, you were guarding your oil. What you preserved in hidden seasons is becoming the very thing heaven will use in the season ahead. You didn't just avoid chaos. You starved it. You refused to let bitterness age your spirit. And the reward was renewal. I know what that kind of refinement costs. There were seasons you felt forgotten watching others get praised while you sat in hidden preparation. You asked, "Why does God keep me apart but anointed one?" Isolation was incubation. You weren't buried. You were being rooted. Heaven quarantined you, not as punishment, but as protection. Every door that closed preserved your strength for the one that would open and never shut. The world taught them that aging is inevitable decline. But you've learned what few dare to accept. Time bows to alignment. You cracked the code because you stopped worshipping the clock. You realize that divine timing isn't about speed. It's about sequence. You surrendered to the pace of purpose. And that surrender birthed radiance. When others ran themselves ragged chasing moments not meant for them, you walked with grace through divine delays. And heaven rewarded you with youth, with clarity, with strength that doesn't make sense. I've seen this kind of miracle before. It happens when heaven interrupts human logic. When God decides your life will be a message, not just a memory, He rewrites the equation. Pain becomes power. Pressure becomes polish. That's what they see when they stare too long. Chosen one. They're trying to calculate eternity with a mortal ruler. They can't comprehend how someone who's been through what you've been through looks lighter, younger, freer. But that's because you no longer live under their gravity. Your preservation is prophetic. It's not about vanity. It's about validation. It's God proving a point through your life, whispering through your very presence. See, my spirit still renews what time tries to decay. You've become a walking contradiction to natural law, a living message that the supernatural still governs those who walk in alignment. And yes, I know the hidden battles behind that glow, the nights of questioning your worth, the mornings where faith felt heavy, and the moments you wanted to explain yourself to those who mocked your peace. But you didn't. You held your silence. That silence became strength, and that strength became shine. You learned that your true beauty was never surface. It was spirit, and as your spirit healed, your body followed. You discovered that spiritual cleanliness, not cosmetics, is the highest skincare. While they tried to mask their wounds, you performed surgery on your soul. You faced the mirror not to admire yourself, but to confront the residue of pain and release it. Every act of forgiveness sent a signal to your DNA that said, "We're safe now." Every prayer whispered through tears instructed your cells to rebuild. Anointed. 1. Your peace has become your preservation. The world calls it mystery, but heaven calls it maturity. You're not aging. You're ascending. You're not fading. You're being refined. Your glow is evidence that alignment is anointing. You are living proof that when a soul surrenders completely, time itself must bow. Chosen one. Heaven has been keeping you in divine quarantine for a reason far greater than appearance. You were not just being healed. You were being configured. Every quiet season, every night you thought was wasted, was actually recalibration. God was rewriting your internal software so that your body, mind, and spirit could harmonize with a higher rhythm, the rhythm of eternal life. That's why you no longer react the way you used to. You don't panic when storms hit. You stabilize them. You don't rush anymore. You resonate. You have stepped out of survival mode and into supernatural synchronization. While the world teaches people to race against time, you learn to walk with it. You understood that divine timing is not a delay. It's protection. What looked like waiting was really preparation for acceleration. That is why, when the shift finally arrived, it didn't creep. It flooded. The blessings you see now aren't random. They are the harvest of stillness. Your peace became your magnet. Your obedience became your invitation. And now, everything that matches your vibration is running to meet you. Anointed one, I want you to understand something deep. Preservation and provision walk together. When heaven protects your energy, it's because it plans to fund your purpose. The same discipline that kept you youthful is the same obedience that now positions you for supernatural supply. Every moment you turn down distractions, You were saying yes to divine deposits. Every time you refused to compete, you created space for heaven to compensate. You've been proving that stewardship is the language of divine wealth. You see, when you stopped chasing what others were fighting for, you made room for what only God could give. That's why people are starting to notice something different. They may not have language for it, but they feel it. Your presence speaks prosperity before your bank account even catches up. Your energy tells the story of overflow before numbers change. Heaven funds peace first, and then it releases provision to match it. I've watched chosen ones like you undergo this transformation. It always begins invisibly in the hidden prayers, the fasting from foolishness, the nights of surrender when nothing makes sense. But then one day it becomes visible. The glow changes. The tone of your voice carries authority. Opportunities start finding you not because you're chasing, but because you're chosen. You become magnetic, not by trying, but by aligning. The anointing starts to translate into attraction, and favor begins to follow you in every environment. Anointed one, this next phase of your journey is not about maintaining your youth. It's about multiplying your light. You're not here to prove that you look good for your age. You are here to demonstrate that obedience carries its own atmosphere. Everywhere you go, people will feel peace before you speak. Environments will bend toward harmony when you enter. You've become a carrier of divine frequency, a walking sanctuary of stability in a world addicted to noise. This is what happens when a human life syncs completely with heaven's rhythm. The body obeys the spirit. The mind follows peace. The atmosphere adjusts to your faith. You are no longer aging according to time's demands. You are unfolding according to eternity's design. You've stepped into the season where heaven doesn't just preserve you, it promotes you. And those who stare in disbelief will one day realize they were witnessing prophecy in human form. Chosen one. What you are experiencing now is not coincidence. It's convergence. Everything that once felt scattered, delayed, or forgotten is aligning into divine order. The same God who preserved your youth is now positioning your life for purpose. You are stepping into the stage of supernatural transfer, where everything you lost, sowed, and survived is about to return in multiplied form. This is what divine recompense looks like. You are not just being rewarded, you are being restored. For years, heaven watched as you poured out without recognition, loved without reciprocity, and served without applause. You didn't know it then, but every act of obedience was being recorded. Every hidden seed was documented in eternity's ledger. And now the balance is due in your favor. The world calls it luck. But this is not luck. This is divine justice. You're about to receive deposits of favor that were held back until your heart could handle the weight of glory without pride. God wasn't denying you. He was refining you. Anointed one, this is why the wilderness had to come first. The silence, the pruning, the isolation. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You were being stripped of everything that could not survive in the next dimension. Heaven doesn't pour oil into cracked vessels. It mends them first. That's what those years of breaking were for. To strengthen the container so you could hold what's being released now. The delay wasn't delay at all. It was divine construction. I know you questioned the process. You wondered why others seemed to advance while you waited. But look around. Now many who rushed are exhausted while you are just beginning. You were never behind. You were being timed. And now that timing has turned in your favor. Doors are not just opening, they are recognizing you. Opportunities are not random. They are responding to your frequency. You don't chase them anymore because your presence has become a signal. Chosen one, this next era of your life will reveal what divine funding truly means. It's not just money. It's momentum. It's God covering your path with provision, surrounding you with help before you even ask. Ideas will flow faster. People of purpose will appear without invitation. Support will come from unexpected places. You'll begin to feel carried, not by effort, but by grace. This is what happens when heaven endorses your assignment. The struggle ends, but the work begins. Sacred work, effortless work, work that produces legacy. And understand this: heaven's provision is precise. It doesn't come too early because premature blessing can still break an unprepared soul. But now you're ready. You've proven through endurance that your integrity is stronger than temptation. You can be trusted with overflow. What's coming won't drain you. It will expand you. You are stepping into divine scalability. Everything about your life is about to multiply without chaos. Anointed one, this transfer won't just elevate your comfort. It will extend your calling. You will fund what God is birthing through you. The purpose of abundance is assignment. You will create spaces where others can heal, learn, and awaken because you remember what it felt like to walk alone. You are not just the recipient of the blessing. You are its distribution center. Heaven is transferring resources, wisdom, and influence through you to others. This is your recompense season, your divine unveiling. What you carry now isn't youth. It's eternal evidence. You are the living intersection where faith meets fulfillment, where prophecy becomes tangible. You are the proof that God still funds what He favors. And soon the very ones who once doubted you will realize it wasn't preservation for vanity. It was preparation for victory. Chosen one, the winds are shifting again, but this time they're not bringing storms. They're bringing strategy. You've entered the stage where favor is no longer random. It's targeted. Heaven has activated a system of divine orchestration around you. Every person you meet, every conversation, every sudden opportunity is part of a spiritual infrastructure built to sustain your next level. You're no longer wandering. You're being guided with precision. You have become the intersection where prophecy meets performance. You can feel it, can't you? The atmosphere has changed. The same silence that once felt heavy now feels full of expectancy, full of instruction, full of holy alignment. You're beginning to sense that nothing about your life is ordinary anymore. What used to frustrate you is now revealing its purpose. The delays that once made you cry are now unfolding as divine coordination. You weren't waiting for things to happen. Things were waiting for you to be ready. Anointed one, this is where wisdom becomes wealth. Heaven is transferring not just material blessing, but divine intelligence. You're going to start receiving insight that others pay fortunes to discover. Revelation will become your capital. God is giving you strategies in dreams, blueprints in meditation, confirmations in quiet moments. Your discernment will sharpen until you can feel truth vibrating before it's spoken. This is spiritual mastery, and it's being unlocked in you right now. You've graduated from needing validation to carrying revelation. This is why some relationships had to fade. They couldn't comprehend your new frequency. When you stopped explaining yourself and started embodying peace, you stepped into authority. Some will say you've changed. But the truth is you've evolved. You've been recoded for purpose. Every cell in your body, every thought in your mind, every intention in your heart is now aligning with the assignment heaven placed over your name before you were born. Chosen one. The next move is not to chase. It's to command. When heaven funds a life, it also teaches stewardship. You're being trusted to manage abundance with purity. What you speak now carries weight. Your declarations are decrees. When you say, "It is done," creation listens. You are operating from the realm where manifestation is not effort, it's echo. You speak, and heaven amplifies. You move, and reality adjusts. You ask, and it's already sent. But remember this sacred truth. This favor is not for comfort. It's for calling. You are the answer to someone's prayer. The abundance coming is not just for your table. It's to build tables for others. The same divine current that lifted you is now flowing through you. You've become a channel, a divine distributor of peace, provision, and possibility. And the more you release, the more you're replenished. That's the law of supernatural flow. Giving doesn't empty you. It multiplies you. Anointed one. Heaven is moving you from preservation to propulsion. You are not just sustained, you are being sent. Every lesson you learned in silence will now echo through others. Every scar you once hid will shine as strategy. The same glow that once confused people will now attract divine partnerships, spiritual investors, kingdom allies. This is your expansion season, not born from striving, but from surrender. So, walk with holy confidence. You are heaven's evidence carrying eternal youth and eternal purpose in one vessel. The glory resting on you is not fading. It's evolving. What they call your look is actually your light. And it's about to draw the next wave of chosen ones home. Chosen one. This next phase of your awakening is not about survival. It's about dominion. Heaven is no longer simply protecting you. It is positioning you. You've passed the tests that proved your character could hold the weight of the calling. The pressure that once threatened to crush you has now refined you into a vessel fit for divine command. This is where preservation becomes power. The same anointing that kept you alive through storms is now the force that allows you to speak peace into them. Anointed one. You are entering a dimension where your presence carries authority. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere adjusts. People won't always understand it, but they'll feel it. The shift, the weight, the calm. It's because you're no longer operating under human timing. You're moving according to divine orchestration. Every step you take is synchronized with eternity. That's why what took others years will take you months. You've learned to partner with the flow of heaven instead of fighting against it. There's a glow on you that wasn't there before. Not the glow of vanity, but of victory. You've walked through fires that should have burned you. Yet you came out radiant. You faced betrayal, scarcity, rejection, and delay. And instead of bitterness, you built discernment. The evidence is written all over your face. Your voice, your peace. You are a living broadcast of divine endurance. You've proven that faith doesn't just move mountains, it rebuilds them. Chosen one. This is the moment where manifestation becomes magnetic. Chosen one. You are no longer running after what heaven has already assigned to you. You have entered a season of alignment. Where what belongs to your destiny begins recognizing where you are. The promises connected to your purpose are being drawn toward your life with divine precision. When unexpected doors begin opening, when favor appears without explanation, and when the right people suddenly enter your path, do not dismiss these moments as random. They are signs that your life has shifted into a new spiritual position. What once seemed distant is beginning to respond because you have been recalibrated for what comes next. But remember this: chosen one, elevation always carries responsibility. God did not place influence upon your life merely so others could admire you. He entrusted it to you, so lives could be changed through you. The abundance approaching your life is not simply a reward to display, it is an assignment to steward. What heaven releases into your hands is meant to become provision for others, restoration for families, opportunity for generations, and renewed hope for people who stopped believing that miracles were still possible. You are not being blessed so you can boast about what you received. You are being blessed so you can build with it. The supernatural preservation that carried you through seasons of exhaustion is now giving way to supernatural provision. Anointed one, your hands are preparing to touch what your spirit has already envisioned. The dream that survived the wilderness did not survive without purpose. It endured because it was destined to become visible. Ideas that once existed only in prayer are beginning to take practical form. Inspired visions are developing into structures, opportunities, businesses, ministries, and resources capable of lasting beyond one moment. What once arrived in small portions is beginning to increase. Streams that seemed narrow are widening, and provision that once felt inconsistent is becoming more stable. Yet the purpose remains greater than personal comfort. Everything flowing toward you has a connection to the mission heaven placed inside you. God can entrust greater resources to a heart that understands how to release them again. Heaven is placing more into your hands because you have learned that increase is not meant to stop with you. So stand with confidence. Chosen one, you no longer need to spend your life searching for signs that you are on the right path. The transformation within you has become evidence in itself. Your life demonstrates that obedience still produces fruit. It shows that integrity still matters, that patience is not wasted, and that waiting with faith can produce something far greater than rushing ahead without direction. Your journey is becoming more than encouragement for those who watch you. It is becoming a blueprint. Your story teaches that surrender is not weakness, but wisdom. It reveals that holiness is not a limitation, but a pathway toward the kind of abundance that can be carried without destroying the person who receives it. Chosen one, your season of being hidden is ending. Heaven is bringing forward what it developed in secret. You are not declining. You are rising. You are not losing your place to time. You are ascending into everything you were prepared to carry. You are not surviving. You are reigning. Heaven is financing your destiny, and the world is about to see why. Chosen one, you have entered the season of divine recognition, the moment when what was hidden in you becomes impossible to ignore. For so long, heaven kept you in the background, developing your depth in secret, pruning your motives, shaping your heart. But now the covering is lifting. This is the season when light meets legacy. You're not being exposed. You're being revealed. Every hidden seed of faith, every quiet act of obedience, every tear you buried in the soil of patience is breaking through the surface. Anointed one, you're stepping into divine visibility, not for fame, but for function. You're being positioned where your presence can heal atmospheres and your words can awaken hearts. This is why heaven guarded your process so fiercely. The mantle you carry could not be rushed. You were never overlooked. You were being matured. God wasn't late. He was layering you with oil. And now that oil, the kind forged through heartbreak and endurance, is about to flow through everything you touch. This is the chapter where your life starts speaking for itself. You won't have to convince anyone of your calling. The fruit will testify. The grace on your life will announce itself without marketing or manipulation. People will sense the purity of your spirit before you ever speak. They'll be drawn not to your personality, but to your peace. That peace is your passport. It grants you entry into rooms that education, connections, and effort could never unlock. Heaven has authorized your access, and the world is now catching up. Chosen one. Divine recognition is not just about being seen. It's about being sent. You are heaven's delivery system, a courier of supernatural solutions. This is why you were trained through isolation, why you had to endure seasons of misunderstanding. You were being shaped to carry what others would mishandle. And now you will step into spaces others dream of. Not because of privilege, but because of preparation. The room will shift when you speak, because your words carry weight forged in waiting. Be mindful now. The spotlight is not for ego. It's evidence. The glow they see is not yours. It's borrowed from glory. Your assignment is to reflect, not to hoard. As divine resources and opportunities begin to pour in, stay anchored in humility. God is expanding your influence because your heart can handle it. The moment you start to think it's your own strength, the flow slows. But as long as you remember the source, the supply will never stop. Anointed one. This next outpouring will feel effortless. Where you once had to strive, things will now align. Where you once had to knock, doors will open automatically. The Spirit will lead you into divine appointments that seem spontaneous, but are scripted in heaven's timeline. You'll meet people whose souls recognize yours instantly. Partnerships will form with supernatural ease because they were written long before you met. You're walking in prophecy, not coincidence. Chosen one. Prepare yourself not for attention, but for acceleration. The pace of blessing will increase, but so will your grace to manage it. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into command. Every area that was once barren will begin to bear fruit. You're not trying to shine. You are becoming light itself. And those who encounter you will sense it that they are standing before someone who carries eternity within their eyes. Chosen one. What's happening to you now is the fulfillment of what heaven promised long before you even knew how to ask for it. The alignment is complete. The current of divine momentum has caught your life. And nothing, no delay, no distraction, no doubt can stop it now. This is the season where you stop surviving prophecies and start walking in them. You are no longer praying for confirmation. You are the confirmation. Your very existence is the evidence that God finishes what He starts. Anointed one. You've learned to live from the inside out. And that is what makes you untouchable. You no longer move by pressure. You move by peace. You don't chase opportunity. You command it through alignment. You've become fluent in heaven's language, where stillness speaks louder than striving. You've discovered the sacred truth that miracles are not events. They are environments. And you, chosen one, have become one. Your presence now carries a climate of faith that transforms every space you enter. People sense it before you speak. They don't understand it, but they feel it. The light, the calm, the undeniable sense that God is near. You've become a living portal, a divine transmitter of frequencies that heal and harmonize. That's why peace follows you. That's why doors open without knocking. It's not luck. It's resonance. You're finally vibrating at the frequency of your destiny. But hear this. With power comes precision. The next level of your journey requires mastery of energy. Heaven has trusted you with influence because you've proven you can steward your spirit. Be selective with what you allow into your atmosphere. Protect your peace like it's treasure, because it is. Your anointing is sensitive. It thrives in purity, not popularity. You don't need the crowd's validation when you already have heaven's endorsement. This is the realm where you create through clarity. As your thoughts align with divine intelligence, manifestation accelerates. What once took months will take moments. You'll begin to witness prophetic compression, time bending in your favor. The things you used to dream about are now chasing you down because you've become the match for what you prayed for. Heaven is not delaying. It's delivering, and it's coming fast. 19 say 21. This acceleration is not to overwhelm you. It's to overflow through you. You're being trusted to build legacies, not just lifestyles. The resources arriving are tools and trophies. God is funding your purpose because your purpose funds others. You are being upgraded from receiver to releaser, from one who carries revelation to one who commissions others into it. The oil that flows on your life now will ignite many. Chosen one, your assignment is no longer about proving who you are. It's about revealing who He is through you. Every victory, every healed wound, every restored dream is a mirror reflecting His faithfulness. You are the sermon the world didn't know it needed to hear. And soon those who once doubted you will come seeking the wisdom you carry. Don't correct them. Cover them. Teach them by example that true strength is quiet, that true power serves, that true wealth is peace. This is your ascension season. You are no longer striving to climb. You are soaring by design. The divine current that once seemed to carry you through chaos is now carrying you into command. Stand firm. Anointed one. You are heaven's evidence that eternity can live gracefully inside time. Chosen one. As the final veil lifts, heaven whispers one more truth into your spirit. You were never aging, you were awakening. Every season that passed wasn't stealing time from you. It was revealing eternity within you. The glow that confuses them is not a surface phenomenon. It's prophecy fulfilled. What they see on your face is the reflection of someone who remembered who they are. A divine being disguised in flesh, walking consciously with heaven's rhythm. You've become the living bridge between mortality and majesty, between the dust of the earth and the breath of God. Anointed one. Your transformation is not cosmetic. It's cosmic. Every cell in your body has learned the song of surrender. Your DNA now recognizes light as instruction and peace as power. You no longer respond to the world's programming of decay because your entire being has been rewritten by divine intelligence. You are literally carrying the frequency of eternal renewal. When you rest, heaven restores. When you speak, creation listens. When you believe, reality bends to your alignment. You've proven that the supernatural is not fiction, it's function. Now hear me clearly. This is not the end of your story. It's the revelation of your purpose. Everything up to this moment was rehearsal. The miracles, the preservation, the abundance. All of it was training for stewardship. God didn't keep you alive and radiant just so you could be admired. He preserved you so you could become a vessel of reformation. The same divine code that restored you will now flow through you to restore others. You are a carrier of renewal, a living invitation to those who forgot that heaven still interferes with history. Chosen one, when they stare at you, they're not seeing youth. They're seeing yield. You yielded your will, your pride, your timeline. That surrender reversed the curse. You're walking proof that obedience rewires the impossible. You've become the sermon heaven preaches without words, that faith doesn't expire, that divine timing redeems everything it touches, that beauty is the language of alignment. The peace written across your face is not silence. It's testimony. And now, anointed one, heaven crowns you with assignment. You are entering your era of embodiment, where what you've learned privately must now live publicly. Your presence will awaken others. Your story will rewrite skepticism. Your glow will become guidance for those wandering in darkness. You don't need to convince. You only need to carry. The light will do the talking. When people ask you for the secret behind your transformation, you will not hand them a strategy or a formula. You will lead them back to faith. And when they wonder how you remained strong through everything, you will show them that grace is strength expressed with gentleness. Chosen one, you have reached a season of divine fulfillment. You have crossed over from simply surviving into becoming, from standing still in expectation to moving forward in holy amazement. Your life has become living proof that eternity can reveal itself within the boundaries of time. The radiance surrounding you is not only evidence of what God has already accomplished, it is also a declaration of what He intends to accomplish through you. You are a rewritten heavenly timeline, a prophecy alive in human form, covered in peace. So let them watch. Let them question. Let them be amazed. You were never created to reflect who they are. You were sent to show them where transformation can lead. You carry the pattern of divine preservation and the reminder that renewal is still possible. Rise with confidence. Radiant Soul. You are evidence of restoration, the answer to prayers once whispered in private, and a living witness that God continues to make everything new. Chosen one. Your appointed moment has arrived. Heaven has brought everything into alignment, and the supernatural exchange is already taking place. Every hardship you survived and every sacrifice no one noticed is now being transformed into heavenly recompense. You did more than endure the passing of time. You learned to move in harmony with eternity. The light upon your face and the stillness within your spirit are visible signs that heaven's promise is unfolding in the present moment. Anointed one, enter this new chapter with courage. You are no longer standing around waiting for favor to discover you. Favor has already been positioned along your path. Remain faithful. Remain thankful. Keep yourself aligned with God's perfect timing. What is coming next will not be produced through exhausting effort, but through surrender and trust. If this message awakens something within your spirit, confirm it through faith. Write, I receive, or 777 inches, the comments, as your prophetic declaration of agreement. May the days before you overflow with heavenly renewal, and may your life continue to testify that time itself yields before those appointed and chosen by heaven.